last night. She come back with a big icky bite. She said, mosquito do that. Frankly, my dear, it looked more like a bat. A vampire bat. Something just ain't right.
Oh, no, something ain't
that
right.
Ain't no mosquito bite.
That ain't no mosquito bite.
Something just ain't right.
No, something ain't
Why
right.
you acting so uptight?
That ain't no mosquito bite.
It ain't right. That ain't no mosquito bite. It ain't right, Lord. It ain't right. That ain't no mosquito bite. Something just ain't right.
Oh, no, something ain't
That
right.
ain't no mosquito bite.
That ain't no mosquito bite.
Something just ain't
Oh,
right.
no, something ain't
Why
right.
you acting so uptight?
That ain't no mosquito bite.
Baby, this slipping and sliding, peeping and hiding. Baby, please don't clean. Baby, I'm gonna get pocket. No time for skylocking. You know what I mean. Something just ain't right.
Oh, no, something ain't
That
right.
ain't no mosquito bite.
That ain't no mosquito bite.
Something just ain't
Oh,
right.
no, something ain't
Why
right.
you acting so uptight?
That ain't no mosquito bite.
You gone out to a party last night. You come back with a big icky bite. You say mosquito do that. Really, my dear, it looks more like a bat. A vampire bat. Something just ain't right.
Oh, no, something ain't
That
right.
ain't no mosquito bite.
That ain't no mosquito bite.
Right, Lord, it is.
Oh, no, something ain't
That
right.
ain't no mosquito bite.
That ain't no mosquito bite.
Right, no, it is
Oh,
right.
no, something ain't
That
right.
ain't no mosquito bite.
That ain't no mosquito bite. Oh, no, something ain't right. That ain't no mosquito bite.
I came at a party, wind up on somebody. Let's take this party to the road. Turn up, turn up. The con girl go and back it up. Park your body like a dumper truck. I like the vibe that I get from ya when you turn it around and you pick it back up. Oh, my hands up to the ceiling. I can't control the feeling. There's no way I'm leaving, and you are the reason. I came at a party, wind up on somebody. Wanna make it a party, let's go. Turn up the Junkanoo. I came at a party, wind up on somebody. Let's take this party to the road. Turn up the Junkanoo. Turn up the Junkanoo. Turn up the Junkanoo. So jump in the line, let's go. Be the headliner to the show. Make the people scream out more as you bring the fever to the road. You use the music master. You move it slow then faster. Your bungies like a tractor. Yes, you are the deciding factor. I came at a party. Let's go. Wanna pump somebody. Wanna make it a party. Let's go. Turn up the Junkanoo. I came at a party. Wanna pump somebody. Let's take this party to the road. Turn up the Junkanoo. Turn up the Junkanoo. Wind your body, go shake your bongi. Wind your body, go shake your bongi. Now dip, now dip, now let me see that. Now dip, now dip, now dip. Now dip, now dip, now let me see that. Now dip, now dip, now dip. Oh la 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 la. Oh la 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 la.
Tonight, the Deputy Prime Minister breaks his silence on that controversial Exuma project. This as a man drowns near the Porterski dock. And later tonight, a man is shot and killed by police. We've got the details. Eyewitness News starts now. Good evening, everyone. I'm Janae Nawal. Thanks so much for joining us. Topping news tonight, No regrets. That's the stance being taken by Deputy Prime Minister Chester Cooper as he finally broke his silence on a growing scandal involving his constituency, the controversy stemming from a mooring company that went rogue operating without official approval. For the latest developments, our Jose Etienne joins me live in studio with the latest on this tonight. Jose?
Janea, Deputy Prime Minister and Member of Parliament Chester Cooper has finally broken his silence on the moorings controversy, a scandal that continues to rock the Davis administration. While government claims it was blindsided by the company installing moorings without proper approvals, many find it hard to believe that Cooper, the MP for Exuma, was completely unaware of what was happening in his own constituency. Now, despite the mounting questions, Cooper kept his comments brief.
I'm pleased with the outcome.
Cooper is backing the government's decision to sever ties with Bahamas Moorings Company Limited after what critics call a veil of secrecy was lifted. The company had allegedly been outsourcing moorings across Exuma without official approval, forcing the government to scrap a 21-year lease agreement.
Whilst we encourage entrepreneurship, there is a correct way to do things.
But the opposition Free National Movement isn't buying it. They question how the government could have been in the dark while the company operated illegitimately. Adding to the controversy, Deputy Communications Director in the Office of the Prime Minister, Sandra Kemp, signed as a witness to the lease. The problem, her husband, Philip Kemp II, is president of the company in question, a clear conflict of interest. The opposition is also calling for the dismissal of a senior advisor in OPM, who they say is too deeply entangled in the matter to remain in position.
No less than the Prime Minister's signature is on the document, so the Prime Minister cannot excuse himself from this matter and pretend as if he is the one that's ending this arrangement that does not pass the smell test.
And then there's the question of what happens next. Will a new company be brought in to continue the work in Exuma? Cooper wouldn't say, but he did make one thing clear. Exumians can't afford another blunder.
We want to ensure that there is consultation with Exumians, led by local government. And therefore, the outrage was not surprising to me.
But here's what Cooper did do. He deflected most questions, telling reporters to direct them to the office of the Prime Minister. Prime Minister Philip Davis addressed the matter in Parliament yesterday, announcing a new national strategic plan for moorings. But he didn't say what, if any, action will be taken against the two OPM officials at the center of this controversy. For now, OPM claims an internal review is underway.
We intend to move forward quickly to seek advice and input from citizens, local government officials, boaters, fishermen, marine owners, marine conservation experts, and others.
Janea, major questions still linger on this issue, and it remains to be seen whether government will provide clear answers. For now, Jose Etienne reporting live in studio. Back to you, Janea.
Thanks so much, Jose. Meantime, the Bahamas National Trust is sounding the alarm for stronger regulations after that controversial multi-million-dollar mooring project in the Exumas was scrapped. While welcoming the government's decision to withdraw, the BNT warns that without a regulatory framework, future projects could threaten the country's fragile marine ecosystem. The organization says it raised concerns about transparency and public consultation early on, but was ignored until the deal became public. Now they're urging the government to establish clear guidelines to ensure mooring initiatives benefit local communities. For more on this statement, log on to our website, ewnews.com. From the crime beat tonight, a man's lifeless body was pulled from waters at the Porter's Key dock this afternoon, sending shockwaves throughout the area. He's been identified as 49-year-old Antonio Thompson, a well-known figure there who was said to have often helped store owners in the area. Witnesses say it's unclear how he ended up in the water before drowning. Police were on the scene conducting their investigations, which are currently underway. Meantime, a man was shot and killed by an off-duty police officer last night on Palm Beach Street. Chief Superintendent of Police Sharia King says the man fired his weapon first, forcing the officer to defend himself. A firearm was recovered on scene, and police investigations are set to be ongoing.
Shortly after 7 this evening, an off-duty officer was in the area of Palm Beach Street, where he observed a male firing a weapon. The officer identified himself as the police, and the male then turned and fired at the officer. The officer, being in fear for his life, retrieved his police service issued service weapon and discharged the weapon. The male then ran, and the officer gave chase. The male once again turned in the direction of the officer, fired and engaged the officer. The officer discharges firearm, again being in fear, in the direction of the male. The male collapsed, and a short distance in proximity of the body, a firearm was recovered. EMS came, examined the body, and found no signs of life. At this present time, we do not know the identity of the male, but he appears to be in his mid-20s. Madam Coroner was on scene, and a full investigation will be conducted in this matter.
Well, King also providing updates on the mental state of the off-duty officer. Chief Superintendent King also states to criminals that the Royal Bahamas Police Force will continue to do their duty to reduce crime and ensure communities stay safe.
Well, he is right now. We're questioning him in reference to the matter, but he's in good spirits. What I would say to the general public, to the criminal elements, is that police officers will continue to do their mandate. We will continue to be dedicated and committed to the jobs that we do and serve the communities and make certain that our communities remain safe, on or off duty.
Well, a 35-year-old Canadian tourist, Lauren Keane, has admitted to assaulting a police officer and throwing her nose ring at him while intoxicated earlier this week. She was arraigned yesterday before Senior Magistrate Shaka Seville on charges including disorderly behavior, obscene language, throwing missiles, disorderly conduct in a police station, and assaulting an officer. She had been staying at the Bahamas resort and was arrested in the early hours of February 25th for disruptive behavior and using offensive language. While in custody at the Cable Beach station, she allegedly continued her disruptive behavior when Corporal 3930 Heald responded to the disturbance. She threw her nose ring at him, hitting him in the face. She pleaded guilty to all charges, apologized for her actions, and admitted to being heavily intoxicated at the time. Magistrate Seville issued a warning and discharged her. Inspector Cordero Farrington prosecuted this case. Meantime, the religious community issuing a clarion call for young Bahamians to put Christ at the center of their lives of the country continues to unravel, claiming those deemed to be a part of the upcoming generation. Arlington Ritchie Jr. has the details tonight.
The religious community says it's time for a spiritual war, and they believe the laws of the land need to be stricter to ensure that perpetrators face punishment commensurate with the crimes they commit. Pastor of Come As You Are Ministries, Dr. Laundrie Frazier, is sounding the alarm.
The Lord has much to say about a young person who offend any one of those. It's cheaper that person to put a milestone around their neck and be hanged in the depths of the sea.
His comments come just days after a toddler watched her father's life be snatched away as gunmen riddled his body with bullets, and days before that incident, a 19-year-old male, the country's youngest murder victim for 2025, gunned down. And late last year, the brutal rape and killing of 12-year-old Adriel Moxie, piercing the hearts of our nation. Diocesan Bishop Dr. Anthony Farrington says those with power must begin to act.
Hurt to see what is happening in our country. As I said earlier, I think that we have reached a point in this nation where we have to take stock of what is happening among us.
For co-pastor Sandra Carey, her plea for change is geared towards young Bahamians as the upcoming generation is seemingly being swept into a life of crime. Her comments come on the heels of authorities issuing all-points bulletins for an 18-year-old male and 20-year-old male, both wanted in connection with murder. Carey emphasizes that young persons need to sit with the Word of God.
Meditate on it day and night. It will get on the inside. And what is on the inside will work on the outside.
Clergymen are calling for more action from within the church.
There's a warfare going on. There's a warfare between good and bad, right and wrong. And we have to stand, and we have to be the mediators.
Farrington explains that even those in the church are now going back to the drawing board.
We have to do more. We have to find a way to do more, right? People are hurting, right? And if it starts with us as individuals taking personal responsibility for ourselves, but we cannot neglect that although we preach in this word, we have to find other means and methods to assist our constituents.
Now the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos Islands Council says they are scheduled to submit a strategic plan in hopes of assisting with efforts to combat crime. Linton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
Thanks, Linton. Well, it's been 2 weeks now since 60-year-old James McKinney vanished on the island of Acklins. He reportedly left home to cut down cascarilla bark. Eyewitness News reaching out to the officer in charge of the Acklins Police Station, the Superintendent Ellie Anguskar, who wrote, "As you would be aware, it's been over 2 weeks since Mr. McKinney has gone missing on the island. The police," he says, along with local volunteers, continue to make checks of the surrounding areas that he would have gone missing. He says at this time, all of the searches have come up with negative results. He says they're continuing with their efforts to bring closure to this matter as it is still under active investigation. Well, officer in charge of Acklins, he debunked rumors that the backpack of McKinney was found, noting that there's been no substantial evidence that has been located. It's a story we are continuing to follow. Well, in news from the political arena tonight, the Progressive Liberal Party is seeking to clarify their side of the story last night at a party branch meeting regarding the re-engagement of nearly 500 retirees to the public service. This after the opposition Free National Movement slammed government for that decision. Our Lyndon Ritchie Jr. was there.
Prime Minister Philip Davis is pushing back against claims from the opposition Free National Movement that his administration is blocking young Bahamians from being offered government jobs. Instead, he argues the FNM is twisting the facts to fit a political narrative, and he says the truth tells a different story. His comments come on the heels of a revelation from Labour and Public Service Minister Pia Glover ruled that nearly 500 retired public servants have been rehired by the government, a move criticized by some as limiting opportunities for younger workers. But Prime Minister Davis says this practice is nothing new and was used by his predecessors as well.
In fact, you think they had never hired any themselves. You think that. But they did. And we have the public service records to prove it.
So how many young Bahamians have actually been brought into the public sector under his administration?
We have hired and empowered over 2,000 young Bahamians under the age of 35.
Out of those rehired, 213 are former officers of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, and the governing Progressive Liberal Party argues this decision was necessary to ensure experience and continuity in national security.
Considering the challenges we face with crime, I don't imagine there are too many Bahamians who would disagree that seasoned and skilled officers can offer important support.
Meanwhile, National Security Minister Wayne Munro issued a blunt warning to officers concerned about job security.
What they are saying to you, police officers, all of y'all, all 3,000 of y'all and your family, they're saying to you that this government should turn you out of your job.
With the 2026 general election on the horizon and political tensions escalating, Prime Minister Davis says his administration is more than determined to secure a second term.
We will not be scared away by political opportunists and lobbyists. People are feeling real pain and they need real solutions. Not fancy talk from those who offered little action when they were in power.
Linton Ritchie Jr., Eyewitness News.
Meanwhile, the governing PLP's gathering last night, happening just after the opposition Free National Movement held a mini rally of their own, raining brutal political punches at the PLP as both parties seek to make their case to the electorate. Jose Etienne has this recap.
They tell me Michael is the best place to get the fire started. FNMs, are you fired up?
The political temperature is rising as the opposition Free National Movement energizes its base ahead of the next general election. FNM supporters were fired up at a recent Carmichael constituency meeting, on their feet, chanting and backing party leader Michael Pintard as he vowed to oust the Progressive Liberal Party from office.
Their days are numbered. Evidence.
With an impassioned crowd cheering him on, Pintar took aim at the governing party, accusing them of lawlessness.
They are serial lawbreakers. We're in the constituency of one of those serial lawbreakers.
And it didn't stop there. Pintar took a direct swipe at Prime Minister Philip Davis, a not-so-subtle rebuttal to jabs thrown by Davis at a PLP meeting in Pinewood weeks ago.
Do not call him brave. His name is Philip. Because a brave Prime Minister would tell the Bahamian people how challenging things are for the Bahamian people. And then he would have to cut costs. He would have to fly a little less.
Pintar kept the hits coming.
I already see what he's done in his own constituency. I told you before, if Columbus come back, he'll recognize Cat Island.
He also tore into the government's controversial decision to rehire nearly 500 retired public servants, a move that has plunged the Davis administration into criticism.
When somebody leaves the public service and they have retired, you cannot bring them back in charge of the department that they have left. We need fair play.
But beyond the criticism, the FNM leader made his own promises, including plans to improve the ease of doing business for residents in Carmichael, a constituency the FNM hopes to wrestle away from incumbent MP Keith Bell.
We got to cut through this bureaucracy that's strangling Bahamian businesses, making every one of you have to get an audit before you could do serious business in this country. We can reverse that foolishness.
And this promise in particular, it had supporters on their feet.
They are busy taking pictures, but I want you to know tonight, you can rely on this leadership. We ain't about just taking a picture. We can cut a movie. But we gotta cut a movie where the Bahamian people are starring.
With both major parties holding mini rallies, the political season is officially heating up as the PLP, FNM, and the wider electorate gear up for the stroll to the polls. Jose Etienne, Eyewitness News.
Well, more unions are set to have their issues ironed out as Minister of Labor and the Public Service, Pia Clover-Roll, revealed last night at a Golden Gates Progressive Liberal Party branch meeting that her ministry is gearing up to sign a number of industrial agreements within the coming weeks. Clover-Roll claims that the backlog of agreement signings is at the hands of her predecessors, noting that the previous administration did not address what the bargaining agents were hoping to accomplish.
We signed 54 union agreements that increase wages and benefits for thousands of Bahamian workers, and that includes young professionals. And agreements 55, 56, and 57 are coming in the next few weeks. Y'all know how many agreements were signed under the FNM? Zero.
Clover-Roll explains that her eyes are focused on fixing what she views as a fractured system.
Public service right now that we inherited that was broken, and we met public servants not being promoted, not being trained, not being groomed for higher positions. Promotions were stalled for years. You heard me say this. And when we came into office, we had to clean up that mess. So that's why PLPs, we are clearing the promotions backlog. Many of you have received your promotions. And may I add that there is a special focused group that are working to head this project, and they are retirees.
Well, Communications Director in the Office of the Prime Minister, Latrey Ramming, defending an allocation of over $2 million to the OPM's 2024-2025 budget to cover the cost of travel for the first 6 months of the fiscal year. Despite the opposition Free National Movement condemning the increase to the budget, Ramming insists that it falls in line with previous budget allocations for former prime ministers and that officials are not abusing the public purse. The numbers show that the OPM spent some $2.2 million on travel and subsistence between July and December of 2024. However, just over $500,000 was approved for travel and subsistence in the office for that same fiscal period, marking a significant increase.
What happens is if the Prime Minister's travel, the amount of the $2 million is consistent with the amount of the last three Prime Ministers. It's not inconsistent. The Minister Administration, the Office of the Prime Minister, had spent the same amount on travel around then Prime Minister Minnis. The same thing occurred during Prime Minister Christie. And I would go as far as saying Prime Minister Ingram. It's not inconsistent. Obviously, the Ministry of Finance allocated an amount of $500,000 in the initial instance. Every year, we have the same back and forth with the opposition. It levels back out to the average spending of the Prime Minister, and the overall government spending comes in the allocated amount. This amount is not unusual. The opposition would like to make it sound like the government is doing wasteful spending.
Well, the OPM's travel budget has always been a center of scrutiny since the PLP assumed office, despite the increase. Raming expressed confidence that Office of the Prime Minister officials will make responsible use of the increased funding for travel.
This is only an allocation. It's an allocated amount, and they either use the amount, come under the amount, or exceed the amount. And we're confident heading into the budget in the summer period that the government will keep in line its expenditure.
25-year-old Taval Noble of Kingston, Jamaica, was convicted and fined $1,500 yesterday after pleading guilty to practicing dentistry without a license and engaging in gainful employment without a work permit. Immigration officers posing as clients caught the Jamaican national performing unlicensed dental procedures in Grand Bahama during a sting operation, which led to his arrest after he attempted to flee. Reports say that on February 21st, officials were tipped off about a Jamaican man applying cosmetic braces to individuals in Freeport, Grand Bahama. Noble was also found on TikTok performing a dental procedure on a woman. Eyewitness News reached out to the Bahamas Dental Council for comment on the concerns this raises for licensed orthodontists.
The Bahamas Dental Council is a governmental body that is set up to regulate the practice of dentistry in the Bahamas and also to protect the public from anything that may be untoward or nefarious towards the patient. So, as you would have heard in yesterday's news, that there was a person purporting to be a dentist practicing on patients performing orthodontic services. Unfortunately, this has become commonplace within our country because a lot of people go on YouTube and believe that they can go ahead and move teeth, and part of it is also because it's trendy. But I would advise the public that anyone who is practicing out of their home, out of the bathroom of a car, doesn't have a license from the Bahamas Dental Council, or doesn't even have a degree, buyer beware. I would stay away from anything like that because a lot of times they come across as being more affordable.
As for those who may be practicing illegally, the registrar of the Bahamas Dental Council, Dr. Ricardo Crawford, he's sending this message.
My word to those persons would be, don't do it, for the mere fact that dentistry is the art and science of moving teeth, and it's a science form that requires training so that teeth can be properly aligned, not just from an aesthetic standpoint, but also from a functional standpoint. And this, without proper treatment, deleterious effects can result in joint issues, can result in tooth loss, bone loss, and so forth.
Meantime, a judge has reserved his decision on whether to reinstate bail for a retired prison officer. Justice Neil Brathwaite heard arguments in a bail plea for 67-year-old Jeffrey Sherman and is expected to make his ruling on March 24th. Sherman was originally released on a $20,000 emergency bail after prosecutors did not object to his release following charges of attempted murder against his ex-girlfriend, Bridget Ingram. Sherman is accused of shooting Ingram at her home on August 24th of 2023. However, the father of 18 had his bail revoked in March 2024 after he violated a bail condition by approaching his accuser within 100 feet. This incident reportedly occurred at a church, which Sherman's attorney, Tia Pindamaki, argued was a public space. Pindamaki claimed that Sherman had learned his lesson and would not violate his bail conditions again if granted a second chance. She also stated that Sherman is currently being held with the general population despite his background as a former prison officer. Prosecutor Jacqueline Burrows opposed Sherman's release, pointing out that his trial is just a few months away. Well, if you've got a news tip or if you've seen news in the making, call the Ion News hotline at 397-6397. We also invite you to send your letters to the editor for publication on all of our social media platforms at eyewitnessnewsbahamas@gmail.com. And if you're watching on our Facebook or YouTube page, share your thoughts about today's stories in the comments section. We want to hear from you. We're just getting started in Eyewitness News tonight, but when we come back, a newly formed council designed to scrutinize government spending. We've got that story coming up. And later tonight, the Ministry of Agriculture are pushing 2 projects aimed at addressing food insecurity. We've got more on that right after this break.
With BGC's crystal clear mobile service, stay connected seamlessly, whether on land or at sea. Our reliable postpaid plans keep your loved ones closer, no matter where life takes you.
Ready to insure your ride? Our new website is ready for you. Visit jsjohnson.com. Select coverages, go to auto, and click Get a Quote. We've made it easier than ever to request a quote online. Fill in all the required fields. When you're done, hit submit. You'll receive a response via email within 24 hours. Visit jsjohnson.com today.
What? You don't know what TDC is? Tourism Development Corporation? You mean the Ministry of Tourism? No, that ain't the same thing, but the Tourism Development Corporation helps to develop and grow behemoth businesses in the tourism industry. You hear what they say, boy? Oh, yeah. Develop and grow. You don't know what all the things saying do? What does do? Hey, check the website, boy.
Start your journey to ownership of our #1 industry today. Log on to tdcbahamas.com.
Who are the boss for dancer?
International events and production. Alive, Bahamas Air, Everybody Wins Live, and Field of Vibes Bahamas Weekend presents
the Evolution Concert on Saturday, March 29th at Clifford Park, featuring Vibes Cartel and Friends.
Bahamas, Nassau. Where is this Saturday the 29th of March?
It's one of the biggest events to hit the shores of Nassau, Bahamas.
Get ready for Addy the Teacher, the Dancehall King, aka the World Boss, Vibes Cartel.
Real bad man, no muggle in a shot.
Log into our official airline Bahamas Air for travel specials. It gets better. We're also giving away a brand new Cybertruck.
And up to $50,000 in cash and prizes at the concert. Compliments of Everybody Wins Live.
Log into our website, feelthevibesweekend.com.
For tickets, tables, skyboxes, and more info.
Visit Ticket Flair or email intlevents242@gmail.com.
WhatsApp or call 1242-808-2369.
I remember Cartel I got it.
No. This one? No. Hey, look, KFC has an incredible promo.
I already had that for lunch.
Ooh.
Crunch your hunger cravings and satisfy the whole family with KFC bucket meals starting at just $20. Get freshly prepared golden fried chicken, buttery biscuits, and add your favorite large sides. Bucket meals starting at just $20. KFC, finger licking good.
This segment of Eyewitness News is brought to you by EV Motors. Drive the future with brand new 2024 electric vehicles. EV Motors, powering your journey.
You're watching Eyewitness News.
Welcome back. Here's a look at your Eyewitness News gas tracker. You're getting the cheapest tonight at Shell, $5.45. Crude is coming in at $5.53. Esso, $5.58. Welcome back. You're watching Eyewitness News. Well, in a significant development for public finance, the Davis administration has enacted the new Public Finance Management Act following the conclusion of the original Fiscal Responsibility Act that came to an end nearly 3 years ago. This new council, aiming to enhance financial accountability and transparency in government spending. Under the new act, the council's primary role will be to assess compliance with the principles set forth by government. The acting chair of the council, Christelle Sands-Feast, told reporters about their immediate goal.
Our role is, we are an independent council. Our role is not to manage the public finances. That is a role for the government. The council's responsibility is to assess compliance against defined principles. We intend to do that diligently, calling on the extensive expertise of all of my council members who are esteemed economists, business people from throughout the length and breadth of the Bahamas. You will note from the composition of the council that they are from various islands in the Bahamas, have experience in different sectors. And so we'll be calling on that collective experience, supported by the relevant expertise of economists and so on that we will be advertising for to support us in our work. Our current focus and our primary focus is, first of all, to ensure that our structural and infrastructural arrangements are in place. And we are working with the Ministry of Finance to ensure that we have suitable accommodation, suitable support staff. That's our immediate priority.
Well, Sands-Feast is stating that the council, being the second launched in the Bahamas, is focusing on fulfilling their duties, and they intend to employ staff, both permanent and temporary, to see that their work is completed on time.
We are looking for 2 to 3 permanent technical experts to support us with the work that we require and to support the council in the reports that are required to be produced, with various skill sets, economists, senior statisticians, and so on. And the council is working. We've defined already and actually formulated and finalized the advertisements that we intend to place very shortly. We also intend in the short term to perhaps engage some short-term support. We will also have administrative support to provide the council with administrative reports. And in the meantime as well, we will be exchanging information with the Ministry of Finance as necessary to do our work. But that's the priority, to staff up to provide us with the technical support that we need. So a minimum of 3 technical experts is what the council foresees at this time. But as you can anticipate, we are only the second council that's ever existed in the history of the country. So we anticipate starting with 3. If it's determined that we need more, then we will do that. And we've been assured by the policymakers that we will receive the necessary report to do our work independently as necessary.
Well, landlords say high rental prices aren't just about profit. They're a balancing act of expenses, taxes, and market pressure, with real property taxes emerging as a major burden. In our second installment tonight of A Property Owner's Plight, we dig into the numbers behind rental pricing and hear from a landlord who reveals the tough choices needed to stay afloat. Our Janelle Longley has more in this report.
Let's take a closer look at the process. Bobby Chen is not only the landlord of several rental properties, but he's had a unique advantage over many of his counterparts. He's also an experienced real estate agent, which gave him a bit of a head start when it came to figuring out pricing for his properties.
So I would typically compare it to within maybe a 1 to 2 mile radius, what those residences are charging for the rate as the standard or as the bar for the going rate. So I've been doing that, and then year on year I try to increase a little bit just to keep up with inflation. So normally I would bake in maybe like a 3% increase year on year.
His properties range from a 1-bedroom unit priced at $750 to 3-bedroom homes at $3,800.
The 750 is in a sort of in a 6-plex, and that is a very high traffic place for local consumers. It just offers unfurnished 1 to 2 bedroom configurations. For the more high end, it currently is a 3-bedroom offering, but it's in the gated community that has the pool, that has the gym, that has the playground.
Now, he's also been a victim of the property reassessment of 2021, which many have attributed to skyrocketing rental prices.
Drastic. Some properties got reassessed for like 40 to 50% above what it was in 2021. But I would say the government is open to opinions, because I've been able to challenge some of those assessments, and I have been able to kind of negotiate a figure that we both were mutually comfortable.
But not everyone has had Chen's luck.
Follow this story on our digital platforms. While the Tourism Development Corporation of the Bahamas has launched Phase 1 of its Home Sweet Home program, which aims to address the current hotel room shortage in the country. In a recent interview with Eyewitness News, the president of the Bahamas Tourism Association expressed strong support for the program, emphasizing that it will not only alleviate some issues surrounding the hotel room shortage, but also engage the local population in the tourism sector.
The Home Sweet Home program as launched by our government fits that vein. We applaud, and certainly very, very, very much anything that works in terms of encouraging and engaging Bahamian entrepreneurs to be that much more a part of what is essentially our most important economic endeavor, that being tourism, is certainly something that we support.
While expressing confidence that this program will provide lasting results for the tourism industry, Weish highlights the confidence he has in the program.
It's my hope, and our organization's hope, as I think, and all Bahamians would probably feel the same way, that it's in for the long term. Again, what it's doing is it's expanding the participation of Bahamians into the most, as active participants into our most important economic endeavor. Certainly, it's not something that we'd wish that, it's a one stab at it and it goes away. And I don't think the program is designed like that. It's to be that. Certainly, it's to be long-term, it's to be impactful, and certainly really, really just firm up even that much further what we do from a touristic endeavor.
Well, in a groundbreaking push for food security and sustainability, the Minister of Agriculture and Marine Resources is advancing the Golden Yoke Initiative. This program aims to solidify the country's agricultural identity through 2 key projects: the LAIR initiative, focused on chicken and egg breeding, and the swine program is designed to reduce pig imports. Delana Roker has the details tonight.
The Golden Yoke Initiative, spearheaded by Agriculture and Marine Resources Minister Jomo Campbell, is a strategic move to strengthen the nation's food production, with a bold target of reducing the food import bill by 25% in 2025. The program provides critical resources to Bahamian farmers.
Is we are trying to meet our objective of reducing our food import bill by 25 by the end of year 25. If we go beyond that, then that's gravy on the rice. But we want to show the Bahamian public at large that agriculture really still and truly is Bahamian culture. We want to show not just the Bahamas but the world that the Bahamas can indeed offer a top-class agricultural product, whether it be fruits and vegetables, whether it be the Malaysian dwarf coconuts you see behind us, or whether it be any of those, the swine, the poultry, any and everything that we have seen so far for this state. And we want to encourage the Bahamian public to participate.
To boost local agriculture and empower Bahamian farmers, the ministry has distributed over 1,000 chickens to 10 farmers nationwide. One recipient, Gregory Stewart, owner of D&T Farms, shares how this initiative will enhance local food production and the industry's long-term sustainability.
We produce about maybe 70 dozen a day right now, but we take them out about 11 a.m. in the morning, and by noon, all the eggs are gone. The demand is so high that we have, folks coming in want to actually pay for them, so we have to do it on a first-come, first-served basis. And we realized the demand, for the local public is so high that we decided to join with them and seeing if we can up the production to be able to supply more higher demand. And so they've been working with us on that. And so we just had also some chickens donated from the Ministry of Agriculture. So maybe in about the next month or two, we should be able to up our production and maybe about 120 dozen eggs per day.
As global food security concerns rise, the ministry is taking proactive steps through the LAIR program, which aims to establish chicken farms across the archipelago. Agricultural consultant Justin Taylor highlights the program's role in increasing resilience within the sector.
As we know, the Bahamas, we import $1 billion worth of food for the Bahamas to keep going. The poultry industry consists of 27 million eggs. So we have a $12.2 million market here. The Golden Yolk Project is actually going to curb this demand. So we're going to reduce import subsidy. We're going to actually establish between Freeport, Grand Bahama in the north. We're going to do the Central Bahamas and Grand Key, Farmers Key. We're going to do Cat Island, Eleuthera. And so we're going to be resilient.
Taylor further emphasizes that this initiative is not just a short-term fix, but a long-term strategy to restore agricultural stability.
So let's say we have an impact like our Dorian destroyed Abaco, you have other islands where you can be resilient on. So you can mitigate those risks, okay? We will actually help farmers throughout the Bahamas. Again, we're gonna start again for the northern islands, the central, the south, and we're gonna get everyone back and enthused and motivated in food security.
With ongoing disruptions in global food supply chains, local agricultural innovation is more crucial than ever. And according to Minister Campbell, more major developments are on the way. Delana Roker, Eyewitness News.
Progressive Liberal Party Chairman and Minister of Foreign Affairs Fred Mitchell addressing claims of alleged gangsterism made by the Free National Movement Chair, Dr. Dwayne Sands. In a statement, the minister took aim at Sands, bringing up his alleged involvement in a court case involving Frank Smith on allegations of bribery and extortion.
Sands, who's the chairman of the Free National Movement, issuing a statement about the PLP and gangsterism. Now, who knows more about gangsterism than Dwayne Sands? You almost want to call him the biggest gangster in the country. Certainly knows more about political gangsterism than anything. Here's a man who can't even win a seat in Elizabeth. Can't win a seat. So now he's the chairman of the F&M. And what's his history? Before the chief witness went to testify in the court case that they manufactured against Frank Smith, just before the chief witness was about to go to court, they gave her a contract for $2 million. The end result is, in the court case, Frank Smith was found not guilty. And the judge, in the course of the case, said that you are condemned for interfering in the course of justice in the country. That's Dwayne Sands. And he wants to talk about gangsterism. I mean, it's just incredible, these people.
Mitchell also backing his statements with the former Minister of Health, Dr. Dwayne Sands, being fired from the ministry for not adhering to COVID guidelines and taking aim at former F&M chair and now opposition leader Michael Pintard. The PLP chair commenting on former Chairman Pintard's resignation amidst controversy over an alleged murder-for-hire scheme linked to Canadian fashion mogul Peter Nygard, in which the opposition leader says he was named in a lawsuit.
The minister fired his behind while he was Minister of Health. Why? Because the COVID rules said that you're not supposed to fly into the country if you're a foreigner. He allowed these foreign people to come in without permission, land, go to their place out there in Life at Key or wherever they live, and he sanctioned it, knowing that it was not correct in law and the regulations. As a result of that, he got fired. And he wants to talk about gangsterism. And he wants to talk about scandal. And he doesn't have to go far. If he wants to really talk about scandal, you just have to remember his own leader of the party, Michael Pintard. What happened to him? When he was chairman of the Free National Movement, he had to resign because people accused him of being involved in some pretty wicked business. And he wants to talk about gangsterism.
So to come tonight in Eyewitness News, we continue our coverage of Grand Bahamas' rebound with a very special story. We've got more on that, but first, here's a check on tonight's weather forecast.
This segment of Eyewitness News is brought to you by Bahamas Air. Book your sweet escape to Montego Bay today. Visit www.bahamasair.com to book now.
Welcome back. Our focus on Grand Bahama Island over the last several weeks has taken you, our viewers, on a journey to understand the landscape of the island. And we've heard from business owners, residents, and the Grand Bahama Port Authority on what the future looks like in terms of the economic rebound and overall expectation that the magic of Grand Bahama Island is on the horizon. But there's another side to the resilience of the island, the involvement of community leaders who are making a difference in their very own way to empower youth on the island to believe and dream big. Tonight we go courtside with a coach on Grand Bahama Island who's been impacting the lives of young men to not only become better citizens on the island, but also dream of a future larger than life. Our Theo Seeley takes it from here.
Sports saved my life. It gave me the opportunity to go to college, never paid a cent, just because of athletics. And that's the same thing I'm trying to help young men with.
37-year-old Jay Philippe has been coaching basketball for 15 years now. He's a community leader in Grand Bahama who has his feet dug deep into both youth development and empowerment through sports. Courtside, he's a coach, and in the locker room, a mentor. His start in basketball as a coach dates back to his time spent in college abroad.
I was going into my senior year as a player, but needed 6 more credits to be able to play. And that's when my coach sort of gave me the idea of he wanted me to assist as a player coach on the team.
And he did just that, and eventually transitioned to grad school, where he coached as well. He eventually returned to Freeport, Grand Bahama, and started his first job as a teacher at Sunland Baptist Academy. In the classroom, he was Mr. Philippe, and on the court, he became Coach Jay. As a community leader on the island, what's the biggest lesson he teaches his athletes?
Discipline, first and foremost. Through sports, you learn how to work with people. And that same concept is important because when you become an adult, you learn how to work with people in the work environment as well too. So sports teaches you discipline, teaches you how to work with your peers, teaches you how to troubleshoot sometimes. It teaches you how to come up with solutions. It's the same way through athletics and through sports. The ultimate goal is to win most of the times, and in life you want to win.
and if he had to share about the beauty of his 15 years in coaching.
Coaching has been so beneficial for me. It has allowed me so many opportunities to meet so many different people. I've been able to travel around the world as a coach. I've recently been named the national head coach of the under-17 team. And the most important thing for me is impacting lives of young men through coaching. People did it for me when I was a kid, when I was a teenager. Persons would have impacted my life so much and helped me to become the young man that I am. And so I just thought it was fitting to be a coach now, to be able to do the same for young men in this country.
Now, I recently got a chance to see Coach Philippe and his team in action, and one of his star players, Jermaine Woodside, told me that basketball has not only been a life-changing experience for him, but it's also opened up many doors of opportunity as well.
It gave me kind of a structure and a purpose kind of to be able to, impact the younger kids and then be able to give me like a motivation to focus in school and just to give me something to, keep me from doing bad things. Just keep me in the house, give me something to stay disciplined to.
And under Coach Jay's leadership, Woodside, a point guard, has snagged a scholarship to head off to college.
My mother is really grateful because, it's really just her. It's me and her. So it takes a lot of burden off her knowing that I could get this opportunity to go off to college using basketball. I wasn't expecting to be able to go to college for basketball because I wasn't really good. And then after being able to be under coach and, learning, growing after these few years, it's been amazing. It's an honor and a blessing.
What's Woodside's take on being able to learn from Coach Jay?
It's an honor and I'm really grateful because it's more than basketball with Coach. It's life lessons to be learned. He leads by example. And he's the kind of an open guy. You could go and ask him questions about life situations, whether it's basketball or about school or just anything about life. So it's been great.
Then there's Brian Tizalien. He plays opposition on the court. His mother saw Coach Jay in action and decided to relocate the team to Grand Bahama to get whipped into shape.
As a player, I just wanted a greater exposure and better for myself, my family. I just felt like she knows what's best for me, and we decided to move in. Overall, it's a good decision, better education, and being under Coach Philippe has just allowed me to be more independent, and just be more, be myself and just be able to do what I got to do on the court.
Coach Jay and his team of coaches have managed to secure scholarships for 18 players over the years, a passion fueled by love.
The love and passion for it, again, I mentioned, someone did it for me. Persons like D.I. Isaacs, who would have died, Derek Pratt, a guy from New Providence, from Baintown that I knew. And so it just works out in his favor.
For this community leader, sports is his avenue of impact, and the basketball court is where his team gets to put practice into action. Life skills acquired from a man who has walked the very same path which they now trod.
Sports gives people opportunities of a lifetime. For me, being a young man from New Providence, my parents never had the financial funding to send me to school. I knew that I had to find something else to do in order to be successful. And that's the same message I preach to young men, especially from the Family Islands that don't have an opportunity to play on a large scale. They don't have that platform. And so just them being able to see the world, them being able to understand that there's opportunities for themselves, gives them hope. And they would have shared it with their family members and other little ones. And so it's just an evolving scenario where it's endless opportunities as long as you put your mind to it.
He coaches through volunteerism, and it is his hope that the lives he continues to impact will someday positively impact their very own communities as well. Theo Seeley, Eyewitness News.
Thanks, Theo. Well, I maintain tonight only good people come from Grand Bahama. Coming up, a special surprise for the Commissioner of Police. We have that right after this break.
My business couldn't survive without my credit card machine from Fidelity.
It's fast, convenient, and my clients love it.
My sales increase, and I can track my earnings.
Get your credit card machine from Fidelity today.
Call 356-7764.
Hello?
You guys had anything to eat as yet? Y'all know Christmas just gone and the rock.
Alright, but y'all let me working all day, but what we gonna eat?
If we was by the mall, we could go by Wendy's and get the Dave's special for $5.
Yeah, but you do know that the Dave's deal is now actually nationwide, right?
Wait, let's go. Cable Beach right there.
Let's go.
All right.
Hello, ambitious women. Are you ready to take your business to the next level? This is your chance to shine. I'm Adriana Fox, co-founder of the Fox Foundation.
And I'm Adriel Fox, legacy advocate of the Fox Foundation.
We're thrilled to announce the second annual Women's Entrepreneurship Episode Grant Initiative, created to empower and support women like you who are making waves in the business world.
This year, we're offering $75,000 in grants to female entrepreneurs with innovative business ideas in undersaturated markets and industries that have yet to reach their full potential. Our top 3 prizes are $25,000 for first place, $20,000 for second place, and $15,000 for third place. In addition, 7 runner-ups will receive $2,000.
We encourage businesses such as those in digital markets like web innovations, AI-driven service, niche e-commerce, or emerging industries such as green technologies, health tech, cultural tourism, and personalized educational platform. Whether you're launching a startup, scaling your business, or tackling that big idea that needs a financial boost, this grant is for you. Last year, we funded 10 incredible entrepreneurs, and this year, it could be you.
Imagine what you could achieve with the funding to grow your dreams.
Apply now and join a powerful community of women entrepreneurs leading the way. Applications are open from January 31st to February 28th. Don't wait. Visit our website for more information. This is your opportunity to break into a growing market and make an impact. Apply today and let's build a future of unstoppable women entrepreneurs together.
This segment of Eyewitness News is brought to you by the Nassau Paradise Island Wine and Food Festival from March 12th to March 16th. Get your tickets at npiwff.org.
Welcome back. The Kiwanis Club of Cable Beach, recognizing the historic accomplishment of the country's first female commissioner of police, who was sworn in last month. The group paid a courtesy call to the commissioner, Shanta Knowles, at the police headquarters this afternoon. Knowles, a former president of the organization, reflected on her civic engagement throughout her journey.
My high school years, I was a Kiwanet. And so I know from an early age the importance of it is to give service to community, because we served the community through our school. Of course, I moved to New Providence, and then life happened. I took on a career. But in 2015, I met with distinguished Lieutenant Governor Chris Ramey, and I told him that while I was doing stuff as a police officer, or still serving my community as a police officer, but also helping families as a police officer, I thought it important for me to be a part of a civic organization where I can give more. And then, of course, his pictures captivated me. And he invited me to the Kiwanis Club of Cable Beach. He said to me, go to other clubs to see if you would love it. But I found love in the Kiwanis Club of Cable Beach. I truly believe in service, and not service for reward. Because I believe that if you're going to give something, give it from your heart, give it to help someone. And that is how I try to live.
Kiwanis International District Governor Pauline Pamela Rodney from Jamaica present for that courtesy call and commended the top cop on her accomplishments.
It really speaks a lot for Kiwanis, knowing that you came up through the Kiwanis family, because that's what we're all about. We start with our K-Kids, then they move into Builders Club, they move to Key Club, and then Circle K. And we're not going to forget those in the Action Club. Mm-hmm. And then to see in the end, they use the training, the leadership training that they get coming through the service leadership program in their profession. And so it gives us as Kiwanians that urge to continue to do our responsibility of training our young people, shaping them for the future.
Well, that wraps up news this Thursday, but coming up and beyond the headlines with Shanique Miller, it's a look at what's happening at a school at Berry Island's parents having a protest today. She'll tell you all about it. That's coming up and beyond the headlines. It starts right after this. That does it for us here at Eyewitness News. It's certainly been a pleasure. having you in our company tonight. On behalf of the entire news team, I'm Janae Nawal saying good night and be safe, everyone.
Edenwell has expanded their testing menu. We now offer blood work, drug screening, and so much more. Our hours of operation are Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., located on 11 Madera Street. We are here for all of your laboratory needs, with fast and reliable lab work done by our friendly and knowledgeable staff. Let us help you take the needed steps to stay in the know about your health. Let's keep working towards a healthier you. Stay Eden well.
Island Luck Sportsbook is taking you to the NBA playoffs. That's right. Every $20 bet placed between February 24th and April 1st earns you an entry to win an all-expense-paid trip to an NBA playoff game. Imagine being in the stands, feeling the energy, and watching your favorite team battle for a championship. The more you bet, the more chances you have to win. So don't miss out. Place your bets now at Island Luck Sportsbook and get ready for the experience of a lifetime. Weekly drawings every Tuesday at 3 p.m. starting March 4th. Visit islandluck.com/sports for more details. Who's ready to fly off to the NBA playoffs?
My name is Limburg Smith. I'm the Director of Sales and Marketing for both Oasis Fresh and Tropic Shipping. Oasis Fresh is a new fresh produce store located in Lyford Storage and Commerce Park, and we sell fresh produce, meats, dairy, and whole foods. We partner with EV because we also offer delivery services to our clients. We offer it to commercial clients and residential clients. And with the purchase of new carry vans, it helps us to deliver our products faster, more efficiently, and it's cost saving to us. So we are very grateful for the partner with EV Motors in regards to our new fleet of vehicles. We used to spend about $220 per se per vehicle, having about 7 vehicles on the road for both our companies, Oasis Fresh and Tropics, which would cost us about $80,000 a year just on fuel. So you can imagine just how happy we are now with our new EV fleet. There was nothing better than a seamless process of getting new vehicles for our company to help us proceed and be more efficient in the way we operate our business.
The thoughts, views, and comments expressed by the hosts, guests, and callers on Beyond the Headlines are not necessarily those of management, ownership, or production unit of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is a production of ILTV Studios and cannot be reproduced or represented in part or entirety without express written permission of the Verizon Media Group. Beyond the Headlines is the intellectual property of the Verizon Media Group. Copyright 2021.
Coming up tonight, students at the R.N. Gomez Comprehensive School were back in the classroom partially today after the PTA imposed a 2-day lockdown. Their word. We talked to the PTA to find out why the hard stance. The mid-year budget reveals that the government has a deficit spending of $394 million. That's the number that has everyone's attention tonight, significantly more than was targeted. Tonight, we look at where the big spend is happening. And a little later tonight, Ian Thomas from Direct Marketers is here, just in time for the weekend too. Stay tuned for the best spots for shopping this weekend. This is Beyond the Headlines. Good evening. I'm Shanique Miller. It's great to have you along this evening. The Parents and Teachers Association at the R.N. Gomez Comprehensive School in Berry Island stood strong this week. They locked the school's entrance, preventing students from entering. Their no-nonsense position is to call the Ministry of Education's attention to the issues on the campus. Apparently, the acting principal and the physical education teacher are stifling the performance of the 150 students at R.N. Gomez. We're going to get a better understanding of what's happening in the Berry Islands. Joining me right now is Father Don Haynes. He is chairman of the PTA of the R.N. Gomez Comprehensive School, and also, I do believe, 1 or 2 other members. But hello to you, Father Haynes. Thank you very much for joining us here on Beyond the Headlines. It's good to have you here.
Thank you very much, Shanique. And it is a pleasure to be here. Today, we are standing in for the PTA president, Ms. Joy Mott, who could not be here. I am the chairman of the school board, and I have with me Ms. Jeffrika Ambrister, who is the deputy chair of the school board. And so she will be joining us today in the place of Ms. Joyanne Mott, who is the PTA president.
Yes, well, I understand you all stood in solidarity. The president, every member, and every executive team member, including you, the chairman and the deputy chairman, you all stood in solidarity Monday and Tuesday, or Tuesday and Wednesday, and today is when you let up a little bit after a meeting last night. But tell us what is happening on the campus of R.N. Gomez Comprehensive School that has the PTA up in arms.
Well, one of the first things is the lack of communication between the acting principal, Ms. Sharon North, the PTA board, and the school board. Of course, that also includes the parents of the PTA. And there have been some egregious allegations made. The acting principal refuses to really communicate with her boards, and we cannot get through to her. There have been a lot of issues that have arisen because of that. The student body, years ago, we had a lot of programs on the campus for our students, and they have just diminished and whittled away. They're not even allowed to go to Nassau to receive their awards in terms of the examinations. No clubs really on the school campus. So there's no outlet for our students.
So you're saying the students are, this is one area, one example of how they are being stifled, because when it comes to extracurricular activities, as we know, they make up the school experience and the learning experience. This principal is standing in the way of this?
Oh yeah, they are definitely disadvantaged. I could name you, I think that one of the areas where there might be clubs is because Kiwanis has the Key Club and the Builders Club on campus. And one time ago, they used to meet regularly, but it seems as though the principal does not want that to happen. National debates, speech competitions, spelling bees, the jaws of life essay, the laws of life essay. None of our students have been able to participate in these activities.
For how long now?
Oh, this been going on now for about 2 years or so.
Yes, sir. 2 years or so. And just to piggyback on with what our chairman has just mentioned, take for instance the award ceremony for the BJC and BGCSE. This is the second year that our students were not a part of those celebrations. And it's because the information wasn't passed down from the head to the parents.
So this is something.
One of the students, she actually broke down in tears because she was not able to go and receive her awards.
And after working so hard,
a negative impact on the students as well.
Right. After working so hard, we know the big deal that those exams are, and the exam results in particular. Your students are performing and obviously working to increase their performance in the national exams. And you're saying that they're doing so, they're being prevented from attending the overall national ceremony here in New Providence?
Yes, ma'am.
That's right. We don't know what the reasons are. I reached out to the testing and evaluation unit of the ministry, and they informed me that they sent all of the information to the principal for her to expedite those kids going, and she just sat on it. And so it was too late when they discovered that these awards were being held. And I want to give you an interesting point, because the Berry Island School, R.N. Gomez Comprehensive School, was the only school that was not at those awards.
Wow, so it does feel like a slap in the face, and it does feel like the kids' efforts and their hard work is not being acknowledged. You said one of the students broke down crying. I imagine many more were disappointed who worked hard to perform well and actually achieve their goals. How long has this principal been acting in this position at R.N. Gomez?
She would have been there now 3 to 4 years.
How impactful has she been? Have you seen a turnaround in grade performance, in overall GPA and that kind of thing?
Actually, Shanique, one of the things that stood out to me, and it's really alarming for me, is that from this administration took over, this is the most students we had that dropped out of school.
What you say? What you mean? Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am?
No, you go.
Hello?
Yes, which administration you mean? You mean the PLP administration or the
school's administration.
You were saying since this lady became acting principal, there have been a mass exodus of students and their parents taking them into the public school?
Well, my thing is, I would not describe it as a mass exodus.
My words. There's not many students there.
Yes, when you take the numbers per capita of what we have here in the Berry Islands, I mean, when you look at 5 or 6 students or so forth.
Yeah, that's a mass exodus for an island the size of where you are. Yes.
All right, yes.
And even previous principals, even if those students would have decided, or their parents decided that they no longer would want to attend school, they still took an extra step and went the extra mile and said, you know what? If you want to leave school, that's fine, but you're not going to be a burden on society. We're going to help you get enrolled into BTVI or something like that, to pick up a trade so you could still help yourself out there.
So wait a minute, I assumed the kids that dropped out or left R.N. Gomez went to a private school. I am being I'm being generous, aren't I? Because there's no private school in Berry Islands, right?
There's only one school in the Berry Islands.
So where have they gone?
They have gone into the workforce. I would suppose Cocoa Key or Big Stirrup Key, where the cruise ships come in.
I'm hoping.
Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go right ahead. Bring your.
Let me say this. We have been asking for the reinstatement of the clubs for the students at the school. We would have had a very rigorous and successful ranger program from the Royal Bahamas Defense Force. We have just got that program back in since COVID, because according to sources, she did not allow them to reinstate the program in school. We had to actually go through Minister Glenys Hannah Martin and say to her, we need the Ranger program back in school.
Did you get it?
Right now, they seem to only be on the sport program. And we have had no one to participate in a national debate. We have had no one to participate in the Junior Minister of Tourism competition. We have had no one to participate in the Laws of Life essay competition. We have had no one to participate in scholarship programs. We have had no one who participated in speech competitions, spelling bees, or those kind of activities, which would have always pushed R.N. Gomez to the apex in this district, as a complete school.
What is the
We are asking, we are trying to get that.
Yes, I'm wondering what is all of this? How has this impacted? Deputy Chairman, if you can come in and please keep your phone or whatever it is still, please, as still as you can. How has this impacted overall student performance, the morale of students on the island and their parents?
It's low. Parents, students, and the teachers, more importantly.
The teachers too are upset about the way this principal manages?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. And in actuality, we have a teacher now that is handicapped, and they did some renovations in a classroom for her, and they moved her out of one particular class, put her in another class, did some renovations. And there was supposed to be a bathroom facility for her in this particular class, so that because of her handicap, so she will be able to use the restroom, and that is yet to happen. In addition to that, our students still wasn't able to take the practical exam for the BJC and BJCSE for home economics because of this classroom not being available as well.
Madam Deputy Chairman, what is the issue with the physical education teacher?
You want to speak on the physical education teacher?
I need you all to let's go quick. We have only a segment.
Okay, he is just what the PTA president called out of whack. He doesn't seem to follow any rules or any principles which have been laid down by the ministry. So he has just basically been doing his own thing. He has stated that it's alleged that he's not going to work on the woman. And he has said he had come over the school. And that's where we are. There was a time when he was doing work at the school, getting paid for it. And that goes against the Educational Act. Only the Minister of the Minister of Education can give anyone the authority who is an employee of the ministry to do work and get paid for it on campus, and they just ignored that.
You had a meeting. You had a meeting last night, right? Promises were made. Very quickly.
Yes.
You feel confident in the promises that were made?
Well, we are looking at that because this is the fourth meeting that we may have had, and promises are being made all the time. And that is why it came to the point where the PTA and the school board said, look here, if they're going to listen to us, we need to shut down this campus.
And
so that is what has happened. They have removed, I understand, the physical education teacher. And so we are looking to see where it goes from here.
I thank you very much, Father Don Haynes, Chairman of the PTA at R.N. Gomez Comprehensive School and the Deputy Chairman of the PTA on the island of Berry Islands. Thank you both very much for joining us. We will follow up with you and see exactly what happens. Again, you heard them talk about the state of the campus there, the state of education, the fact that students have no other outlet other than those classrooms. Every program has been stopped, from the Rangers and the Key Club and the Kiwanis Club and all those other things that help the student experience and enrich a student life. They have been stopped allegedly and reportedly by the principal there. They closed the school down for 2 days this week and prevented any action from happening. Last night there was a meeting with the Director of Education reportedly, and they are hoping to see some action happen. We will continue to follow this. This is Beyond the Headlines. We're back right after this break.
Rejuvenate, refresh, treat yourself. Immerse yourself in total comfort. Pamper yourself. After all, you're worth it. Relax. Rid yourself of all life's stresses. At Baja Retreat Anti-Aging Spa, you will find everything you need to enhance your body and spirit. Call today at 323-6711 and begin your journey to serenity at Baja Retreat Anti-Aging Spa.
What? You don't know what TDC is? Tourism Development Corporation? You mean the Ministry of Tourism? No, that ain't the same thing, buddy. The Tourism Development Corporation helps to develop and grow behemoth businesses in the tourism industry. You hear what they say, buddy? Oh, yeah. Develop and grow. You don't know what all the things saying do? What does do? Hey, check the website, boy.
Start your journey to ownership of our #1 industry today. Log on to tdcbahamas.com.
Hello, ambitious women. Are you ready to take your business to the next level? This is your chance to shine. I'm Adriana Fox, co-founder of the Fox Foundation.
And I'm Adriel Fox, legacy advocate of the Fox Foundation.
We're thrilled to announce the second annual Women's Entrepreneurship Episode Grant Initiative, created to empower and support women like you who are making waves in the business world.
This year, we're offering $75,000 in grants to female entrepreneurs with innovative business ideas in undersaturated markets and industries that have yet to reach their full potential. Our top 3 prizes are $25,000 for first place, $20,000 for second place, and $15,000 for third place. In addition, 7 runner-ups will receive $2,000.
We encourage businesses such as those in digital markets like web innovations, AI-driven service, niche e-commerce, or emerging industries such as green technologies, health tech, cultural tourism, and personalized educational platform. Whether you're launching a startup, scaling your business, or tackling that big idea that needs a financial boost, this grant is for you. Last year, we funded 10 incredible entrepreneurs, and this year, it could be you.
Imagine what you could achieve with the funding to grow your dreams.
Apply now and join a powerful community of women entrepreneurs leading the way. Applications are open from January 31st to February 28th. Don't wait. Visit our website for more information. This is your opportunity to break into a growing market and make an impact. Apply today and let's build a future of unstoppable women entrepreneurs together.
At the Water and Sewage Corporation, safety and convenience are our top priorities. However, our meter readers face challenges that can make their job difficult. Locked gates to guard dogs sometimes leads to missed readings and estimated bills, which can be frustrating for you and us. That's why we're upgrading to digital meters. They bring safety, accuracy, and convenience to homes across the Bahamas. We can streamline data collection, reduce on-site visits, and provide more accurate bills with no more estimates. Digital meters also help detect leaks early, saving you from costly bills and reducing water waste. Soon, a user-friendly app will let you track your water usage, manage bills, and stay informed, all at your fingertips. Over the next year, we're rolling out digital meters nationwide, transforming how we serve you with a safer and cost-efficient water supply. To learn about our digital meters, visit our website or call us today. And don't forget to update your information at any of our locations.
If you enjoy watching Beyond the Headlines, take advantage of our exclusive offers with 4 15-minute interview segments at $1,200 and 20 30-second TV ads at $2,000. Contact 557-0258 or 557-0259 for more information. Go beyond with Beyond the Headlines.
This segment of Beyond the Headlines is brought to you by EV Motors. Drive the future with brand new 2024 electric vehicles. EV Motors, powering your journey.
Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. Prime Minister Philip Davis presented the budget communication in the House of Assembly yesterday. Of course, the budget, or the mid-year budget, is a time when government gives an analysis, a report card, an update on where the country stands. And so the mid-year budget, the debate will begin next week. However, everyone was paying attention to numbers. That's where it's a numbers game. What's happening? Where does the country stand? What is the revenue collection? What's the deficit spending? And it's the deficit spending that got people's attention. $394 million. It is significantly above what was targeted for this time of year. Of course, as you know, the fiscal year began July 1st, 2024 to go to July 1st, 2025. And it's the amount that was spent in, say, the first half of the fiscal year that have people questioning, like, where did this money go? How y'all spend all of that? We're going to get right into that this evening. We're going to start our discussion right there. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines. Our contributors, Ellington Ferguson and Kyle Dean. Kyle, it's good to have you here this evening.
Good night, Shanique. It's good to be here. Good night, Bahamas.
Good evening, Shanique. Good evening, Bahamas. Certainly it's a pleasure to be here once again.
Gentlemen, what do you all make of? That's a hefty sum. It's a lot to swallow when you hear $394 million in deficit. It's again, a big number to chew on. Your thoughts about what the government has spent in the first half of the fiscal year, as was presented in the mid-year budget communication?
Shanique, certainly it's a very, very hefty sum. And even though the Prime Minister stated that he is still certain that they're going to meet their target at the end of this fiscal year, this is the mid-year budget. Obviously, he knows what they're doing, what they're expecting. He probably knows what projects they got. But it remains to be seen how they're going to pull this off. But nevertheless, I do think that government need to take a second look at some of its expenditures, some of the wastages. And I think there's still yet too much wastages in government. And we need to begin to trim the fat. We need to operate a lean machine. Too much overspending here and overspending here, over budgeting in areas that I think could be managed a little more better. Hopefully the Prime Minister can meet his projections like he's alluding to. The opposition doesn't think that it's going to happen, and so it remains to be seen. This is we got to kind of watch how these things are ballooning and getting larger and larger all the time.
And you know, Shanique, people say it's a big number. I cannot disagree with that. However, the budget is just a budget. It's a projection of expectations. So at the end of the term, at the end of this fiscal year, the deficit could be lower. Government would present its numbers based on its priorities, what it wants to do, and the costing of it. And so although we may look at it and say, oh, this is a big number, where's the money going? We have to also take into consideration that roads need to be paved, schools need to be fixed. There are a lot of stuff, infrastructure-wise, that needs to be done to make Bahamians' life much more comfortable. Also, Shanique, anytime government takes a hit in revenue, then it causes the deficit to increase because you no longer have that money to depend on. And so I want to, employ the Bahamians. Let's see what happens. Let's see where the money is going during the debate. And I'm sure we'll all have an appreciation after this midterm budget debate as to why that number is justified.
Well, you're right. We want to see why the number is justified, why it was spent, and again, we will learn more when the debate starts next week. But gentlemen, let's look at something that's been in the news now for a minute, and a minute meaning like roughly a week and a half, 2 weeks, and that is the rehiring of public servants. I was told, I didn't get this on, not sure if it's good authority or not, but about maybe 14 to 15. 14 out of that 491, I believe it was, public service that were re-engaged. About 14 to 15 of those are permanent secretaries. We know their salaries are hefty. They receive bonuses and various pays. Just again, making the package quite pretty and quite attractive for a civil servant of that level. Many of them, people feel as though, why do they need to be brought back? Here are people who have served their time. These, of course, are the very senior. They run ministries, basically, not the ministers, it's them. very, very senior, and so therefore their pay reflects that. But they were brought back, I'm being told, to fill these positions that were either underserved or not served at all, that they were brought back. Gentlemen, your thoughts on that, when people are saying, but hold on though, there are other people who worked just as many years to now let it be their time in the position of permanent secretary, for example?
Well, I'll let you go.
Shanique, I listened to the government response to that very carefully. And while we understand, we all here know we have challenges with on our police force, nurses, teachers, and Bahamians essentially has no problem with the government bringing persons back to fill those positions wherever vacancies are needed, because we have a drain where our people are going off to the United States who's offering them more benefits, more better pay and opportunities. So with that said, number one, the corrective measures that are being done, we need to know that. I think the government should have been a little more thorough in putting this out there. They just put a statement out there, and then when people start to mull over it in the public's affair, then they come with little pieces of clarification. What are we doing going forward as it relates to it? I think it was the chairman of the Progressive Liberal Party that spoke to the fact that police are disengaged at an early age, somewhere around 40, 50 years old, that still has a lot to offer. You are the legislators. You've got to make the adjustment. You're the one that sits and negotiate with the Police Staff Association, or whether it be the nurses union or the teachers union. And if you think these people can serve a little longer, you need to put in the necessary policy changes that will allow them to continue.
You're right. It shouldn't be years of service if someone is still very, very capable of doing their job, especially on something like the armed forces.
And to come back and to have to go through all of this. Secondly, those persons that is said to be brought back as permanent secretaries, I think the public is owed to know who they are. Were some of them former permanent secretaries that is being brought back to do what they should have done when they were there? Okay? Because if they didn't do it then, why them now? That's my question. Okay, so and I hear the government talking about how this succession planning was in place for this, and this again, I said earlier that this happened over successive administrations where we have failed to plan for successive planning. Okay, it was not in place. Now that the government, are you putting that properly in place that we don't have to go through this exercise no more? Because there are young people that are coming up through the ranks that should have been trained, that should have been understudying the person that was there, that they could have just naturally, as persons move out, matriculate upward. If you keep bringing back people, which I've seen done in this administration, in the last Free National Movement administration, the previous Progressive Liberal Party administration, and the previous FNM administration before that, goes far back. It has always been done where they've been bringing these people back and putting them at the top of these areas, of these various government departments. And so we need to know, I heard the Minister Glover role sought to give some more clarity on it last evening, which I appreciate, but I think it needs to go a little more in depth. The Bahamian public need to have a more clearer picture of what is happening, what is going on with this.
Well, you know, Shanique, I wouldn't go as far as saying 14 to 15 permanent secretaries have been re-engaged. And then also, you know, more than half of the rehirees for police officers. That's because, you know, I understand that when they reach the rank of sergeant and have done a certain amount of years, they're eligible for retirement. And so some of them retire and then they're brought back because they still could work another 15 years, 10 years, 20 years. And so we're dealing with a situation where there are not enough police on the police force to maintain the level of law and order that Bahamians would like. And so I don't see it's an issue bringing back a police officer who is retired, he's only 45, who's only 50, and have another 15, 10 years to work. Further, to add to that, the public service is a mess. When the current minister inherited it, she inherited promotional backlog goes as far as 30 years. Persons who have not been confirmed for 10, 15, 20 years. And so, Shanique, what has to happen is you have to take this bull by the horn, you have to go through all of the clutter, and you have to begin to bring structure and order to the public service and start to do right by families. And so, when this minister came on, that's what she had to do. She had to go through every rank to see who is due promotions, back payment, incremental payment, and she did that. And Shanique, she has proven herself as a progressive public servant minister. And so I don't see it as an issue if you need to bring back, in the midst of clearing the clutter and dealing with the chaos, you bring back experienced heads of departments to assist in this endeavor and structure the public service in such a way whereas in the future we don't need to bring back retirees. There's a clear path to promotion. There's no backlog in promotion in the future. We no longer have people who are going to work for the public service 10, 15 years without being confirmed. You cannot go to the bank for a mortgage. I mean, Shanique.
Yeah, many people have been held up for years, for decades, who work as a member of the public service, but in that position, just very stagnant.
In limbo.
Yeah,
and so what do you do? Do you leave the public service in limbo, trying to wrestle the shine of chaos, or do you bring back experienced heads who are going to assist, who are going to be able to train staff and qualify people to be promoted to the more senior ranks in the public service?
So we are saying because governments always, any administration, operate at a deficit, meaning on deficit spending, that as long as they can explain this, as you all have broken down this evening, that this is what the Bahamian people deserve and not to have it linger on and drag on. Tell the people where the money is being spent, what's happening, the right sizing of the public service, the national infrastructure that needs to be done. Let people know what's going on so that they can have be able to digest it better.
See what you do, Shanique, when you put things out there, and sometimes when things get out there, you don't put them out there and they just get out there, and people don't understand the whole gamut of what's taking place. People begin to suspect. They begin to look at their members of parliament and their government in prejudice as though they're doing something wrong. So it's very important for the government to be transparent, put the whole thing out there, make sure, speak to the Bahamian people, let them clearly understand what it is that you're doing, how you're spending this money, and where the resources are going.
Shanique, I just want to go further on a point. We talk about the explanations and telling people this government every year has been posting the budget on the website. You could just go to the website, download the document, and you could just read it. It's that simple. You could follow the numbers. You don't have to depend on political persons to spend something to present it to you. You could go get the raw, hard facts on your own if you just do a little bit of reading.
Well, is it spin or is it reality? Because opposition leader Michael Pintard says this administration has failed to tackle the real issues, the issues that Bahamian people want tackled, and not just issues where the special interests are smiling and happy and that benefit a certain few. Gentlemen, is that true? Is this administration refusing to deal with the main issues facing Bahamian people today? And you know what they are? They are cost of living and inflation. They are crime. They are housing. They are Jesus driving the streets, as you basically said. The point is a number of things that the Bahamian people want addressed, want tackled. They are for the people who make this amount of money to be able to realize and see the path of making more. Is this administration not focused on the real issues?
Well, let me just interject here, Shanique. I would take what the leader of the opposition say with a grain of salt. His background is in playwriting, skits. And so he's good at acting.
So what do you?
So you have to be.
How was he acting?
So she have to be very careful. When he was Minister of Agriculture, there was no progress in agriculture. When he was Minister of Youth, Sports and Culture, there was no progress. So he doesn't have the moral standard today to talk about progress. And I'll say this also, Shanique. A critical issue in the country that Bahamians are concerned about is housing. The FNM had a policy that they were not going to build one house, right? So if the PLP wanted 2021 we built one house, we would have built 100% more houses than them. Since that, we have surpassed
They had
one
a policy
house.
or they just didn't do it?
They had a policy. They weren't going to build any house, and they didn't. We are building houses to address the shortage of housing in the country. Shanique, the country has been plagued with gang-related crime for a number of years. The PLP passed the gang legislation, and the Commissioner of Police announced that very soon persons will be brought to the courts under charges under the new legislation. And so we empowered the police to be able to serve, protect, investigate, and we have given them sufficient teeth to be able to charge these individuals before the court. And so, Shanique, let me share this also with you. Investment is up in the country, so we cannot be talking about that.
How and where?
The investments is up in Exuma, all over the islands. So we have more than $10 billion.
Grand Bahama wants to know when.
We have more than $10 billion in investment. We have the shipyard in Grand Bahama. And so we have some other projects that was announced at the conclave that are going to happen in Grand Bahama. And so, Shanique, when it comes to investments, he cannot be referring to that. When the FLM took office, urban renewal was totally shut down. You know, Shanique, there was no in the city, there was no drive to develop initiative to push the inner city. Mm-hmm. And urban renewal is up and running. The authority has been launched. So we cannot be referring to that. So the leader of the opposition need to say specifically what exactly are you referring to when it comes to tackling the issues. Roads are being paved, sidewalks are being built, clinics are being built in the islands, airports are being built. What exactly are you referring to when you say the government needs to tackle the issues that concern Bahamians the most? What exactly are you referring to? We increased the bread basket item listed, so the cost of food could go down. We are reducing VAT. We have increased the bread basket item listing to include healthy foods and fruits,
well, you have done that, because I remember discussing that even with you here. So there's a lot that this administration is doing, but he is saying with record numbers of tourist arrivals and increase in revenue collection, he wants to say, listen, there's no relief for the everyday Bahamian. They're not realizing that in their pocketbooks.
I think, Shanique, while I would not go as far as what the opposition says, that they're not doing anything, but I think there needs to be a lot more focus from the government part. They're doing a lot of stuff, and some stuff that are going to produce some fruits down the road. Now the government is talking about reducing VAT, which will come into place sometime during the month of April. I think they need to try to focus more, try to do more to touch the everyday average man in their pocket. We're still grappling with the housing issue, with rental issue, people trying to find affordable rental units here on the island, the cost of living and all that type of stuff. The government has been doing some things on a larger scale that's going to affect some of these things in the very near future, but the average person has yet to feel them. It's very important when you have to tell somebody what you're doing for them. That kind of speaks that you're not quite reaching them. People must be able to feel what you're doing, and so the government has a long way to go and a short time to get there for the masses of the Bahamian people to really feel the things that they're doing, that they're putting on the ground, and all of these investments and stuff that they're touting. The Bahamian people needs to feel them. It's no good in the air. It's no good on the paper. It needs to begin to touch and enrich the lives of the Bahamian people.
Touch, feel, see,
Absolutely.
Experience. Gentlemen, crime is also an issue that must be brought in hand. Certainly, of course, we know what's happening there. Shootings and broad daylight shootings, brazen shootings happening that really are disturbing to members of the public, does not improve our reputation abroad. But certainly just among us, quality of life, that's priceless. And so we certainly want to sort of reestablish that and live that again in the Bahamas as we progress. And so certainly many things we await to see how they unfold and develop. Listen, I thank you both very much, Ellington Ferguson, Kyle Dean, thank you. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to shift gears and talk with Ian Thomas from Direct Marketers. We're back right after this break.
You work hard to provide for and protect the ones you love. However, life can present unexpected challenges. Who you call in times of need matters. Insurance Management is a Bahamian-owned company that has been serving our community for over 40 years, offering a wide range of coverage for all of your personal, professional, and commercial needs. When life happens, rest easy knowing that our skilled and experienced agents are there for you in your time of need, so that you can get back to what matters most. Insurance management. Nobody does it better.
Who are the boss for dancer?
International events and production. Alive, Bahamas Air, Everybody Wins Live, and Field of Vibes Bahamas Weekend presents
the Evolution Concert on Saturday, March 29th at Clifford Park, featuring Vibes Cartel and Friends.
Bahamas, Nassau, where you see Saturday the 29th of March.
It's one of the biggest events to hit the shores of Nassau, Bahamas.
Get ready for Addy the Teacher, the Dancehall King, aka the World Boss, Vibes Cartel.
Real bad man, no muggle in a shot.
Log into our official airline Bahamas Air for travel specials. It gets better. We're also giving away a brand new Cybertruck.
And up to $50,000 in cash and prizes at the concert. Compliments of Everybody Wins Live.
Log into our website, feelthevibesweekend.com.
For tickets, tables, skyboxes, and more info.
Visit Ticket Flair or email intlevents242@gmail.com.
WhatsApp or call 1242-808-2369.
I remember Cartel, I got it.
Cashmas time, here we go. Mercy's doing it big this year. Cashmas time with extra chair. 12 days of merry winnings from your friends at Island Bay. Friends we trust, yeah we know. Cashmas time, here we go. Prizes and lots of dough. This Christmas, come catch a lick with 20 on your account. Quick, quick, quick. And you can win some awesome stuff at Percy's Island Bay.
We are standing on 3 acres of land on which we're going to be putting the Bahamas' first end-to-end plastic recycling company, Eden Recycling and Manufacturing Company Limited. Eden has two arms, recycling and manufacturing.
This is groundbreaking for us. We can have the formula for what it means to do end-to-end recycling in the Bahamas, in the region, and even if we have to export these ideas and thoughts and concepts even into the U.S.
Island Luck Sportsbook is taking you to the NBA playoffs. That's right. Every $20 bet placed between February 24th and April 1st earns you an entry to win an all-expense-paid trip to an NBA playoff game. Imagine being in the stands, feeling the energy, and watching your favorite team battle for a championship. The more you bet, the more chances you have to win. So don't miss out. Place your bets now at Island Luck Sportsbook and get ready for the experience of a lifetime. Weekly drawings every Tuesday at 3 p.m. starting March 4th. Visit islandluck.com/sports for more details. Who's ready to fly off to the NBA playoffs?
So you want a space. But not just any space. You need something with a little more potential. So how about 1,000 square feet of room to play with? Superb audio and video production capability, digital LED wall, full lighting grid, and about 124 seats to accommodate a full studio audience with so many other features. Make us your home for your next concert, conference, and so much more. Honestly, the possibilities are endless. Here at ILTV Studios, we'd love to bring your next event to life. So what do you say? Do you want our space?
If you enjoy watching Beyond the Headlines, take advantage of our exclusive offers with 4 15-minute interview segments at $1,200 and 20 30-second TV ads at $2,000. Contact 557-0258 or 557-0259 for more information. Go beyond with Beyond the Headlines.
Okay, see you later. Welcome back to Beyond the Headlines. It's good to have you all tuned in this evening. Well, we're going to shift gears, as I said to you. Ian Thomas is here from Direct Marketers, and he has a lot. And my guest that just went, I won't tell you which one. Say you the feel-good guy, you know, who sell the sex thing. And I'm like, oh, y'all pay attention, Ian, only for that. That's what got y'all attention when he comes on. but everybody has their thing of when Ian comes on. So Ian, good evening to you. Welcome to Beyond the Headlines. It's good to have you here. You have another moniker now. People, right here, moniker like a name, you know?
Okay.
Yeah, people are saying this is you right here.
Well, that's just a product. It's not really me.
You're the man who makes things happen.
Well, okay. I guess I'll take that. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ian Thomas, and I am from Direct Marketers. Direct Marketers, of course, is a marketing company where we specialize in radio, TV, print, social media, and e-blast. So if you have a business or a business idea and you want to know how viable it is, please feel free to give me a call at 552-0212. That's 552-0212. These cameras are kind of good. I've got to remember looking at this one.
But you want it.
Yeah. Normally they put my number up, so I didn't bring my
Justin
thing.
will do that in a minute.
552-0212. That's 552-0212. Give me a call and we'll get there. Shanique Miller, I had some of my people who are fans of yours that came in town, and they said that they watched you, and they watch you all the time, and they said to give you a shout out at John and Susan Babbitt, and they are from Arkansas.
Hello, Arkansas. By the way, yes, I have family in Arkansas as well. Hello to you, John and Susan. It's so good to have you tuned in whenever you tune in. Because, and Ian, you know, and they don't lie, because I believe they watch from time to time, especially when you're on.
Yes, definitely.
Because they're your friends. I know you went there and visited with them extensively last year.
Yeah.
But the thing is, we got people watching Ian
from all over.
Yes, Turks and Caicos, the other parts of the Caribbean, of course, the United States.
They love you. They love you. That's John and Susan Babbitt. Hey, what's up from Arkansas? They're down here with their family reunion. They got their nieces, Casey and Amy. This is their first year in college, so there's some young Babbitts. So they are out there. They're doing a really good job.
Y'all know
and
Ian, right?
1 second, their grandma
John
Nora.
and Susan.
Grandma Nora Jane. She's 87 years old. She's an old Babbitt. They also want to let you guys know they love watching Shanique Miller. And who am I to disagree with these Babbitts? They know what they like. So we were going out to fish fry the other night, but man, they spend so much money. They'll try to break you. So guys, got to be careful, man. These Babbitts will break you. So John and Susan Babbitt, Arkansas, we guys love you. It's amazing. I love you guys.
You know, John and Susan and the rest of the family, talk to a Bahamian about your last name and see how he's using that. That's all I'm saying. That's all, because you're all Americans, you all don't know.
I'm taken aback. I didn't even.
You didn't.
I never thought about that.
No.
Didn't register.
No, you didn't.
It's just out here. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, now back to our regularly scheduled program. That's what I should say. Tasty Buys Instant Oats and Tasty Buy Basmati Rice. I got the oats here today, but I'm all out of the rice. I can't believe that.
Wow.
People keep stopping me and asking me, I want that rice, I want that rice. So I don't have any more rice, and I'm sorry about that, but I'm going to pick up some more tomorrow. I'm going to give away about 10 bags of rice and also the 10 bags of this instant oats.
The Basmati is like the jasmine, flavored, so nice, a longer grain, really good.
It's time you discovered the magic of Basmati rice. The grain is a perfection, just like Shanique Miller just said. The taste of the rice is like, I can't really explain it. The experience that you have is going to be mind-blowing. So I want you to check out this rice. It's a signature nutty flavored and fluffy long grain rice. Basmati rice, just like you say, it's Indian rice. It's that long grain Indian rice. Now what they did, Tasty Buys, they got together with their manufacturers, and they know that Bahamians love parboiled rice. So what they did is they were able to work together and give them the parboiled version of the Basmati rice. It's a wonderful rice. Also, you individuals who are dealing with dietary restrictions, and you might be dealing with diabetes or something, this is excellent for that. So you people who love rice, but you might be dealing with diabetes, this is excellent for you. So the parboiled rice, you can find it at some of the top grocery stores out there. Both the oats and the rice. They sent me a list of places that you can go ahead in the grocery stores. You can find them at Centerville Food Store, 6th Terrace. You can find it at Cotton Tree Convenience Store, Courtesy Supermarket, JCF Supermarket on East Street, Meat Max on Carmichael Road, Super Value stores, all of them.
I thought I saw this in Super
Yup,
Value.
it's at Super Value, Quality Supermarkets, EL Roll Supermarket, that's North Andros, that's wonderful, and Express Food Mart stores in Freeport, Grand Bahama, and Stop and Shop grocers in Freeport, Grand Bahama. So the oats and the rice are taking over. So I really want you guys to go down there and ask for it. If you don't see it on your shelf when you go into your grocery stores, ask about it. And you stores, you grocers, your restaurants, you food businesses, bakeries, all of you guys, give them a call if you don't carry it and you want to start carrying that brand, because I know people are going to be asking for it. The phone number is 677-5038. 677-5038. This is ideal, like I said, for individuals with dietary restrictions. And if you want to make nice dishes, people have made, some clients hit me back and they said, customers I should say, hit me back and they said they paired it with sushi and curries and stir fries. It's wonderful, and different spices. They use tender meats in it and veggies, and it's just a wonderful flavor. It's authentic Indian basmati rice. Taste it. You guys are going to love it. And like I said, the instant oats. Shanique Miller can tell you what oats can do for you. Shanique, you go ahead and you tell your people what you love about enjoying oats.
Of course, Ian. It's soluble and insoluble fiber. As you know, that's good for gut health.
Mm-hmm.
Really, and gut health is important. We
Definitely.
see that the microbiome is to be protected at all costs. And so when you eat stuff like oatmeal, that's good, wonderful fiber.
Mm-hmm.
This is what we need. It also helps with the digestion process. Mm-hmm. And so really, really awesome. Then the additional health benefits, let's say, for example, hypertension, mm-hmm. high cholesterol, it even diabetes friendly, diabetic friendly. Mm-hmm. You can add a number of things to it, just stuff that you can. So you're not the bland oats from years ago where you maybe put the sweet milk and all that. You don't need to add a grain of sugar to your oats. Add you some dry cranberries with some nuts, some blueberries, and you maybe a sprinkle of like chia seeds and stuff on there.
Wow.
A bit of flax seeds.
I never thought about that.
And you just eat that and have the most filling, rewarding meal ever.
I love when I asked Shanique Miller about it, because she just started glowing, and this is something that she really believes in.
Yes.
And I know that people out there.
This can be flour.
Wow.
This can be the main ingredient for
mm-hmm.
your biscuits.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to eat sugar ever again by what you use this oats for. It's so many things.
Right.
It's
and like I said last time, it's not the same old oats that your grandparents and your parents gave you. This is really, really good, and hence the name Tasty Buys. So it's the oats and it's the rice, but like Shanique Miller said, you can pair it with bananas and almonds and apples and berries and all that good stuff. It's delicious. It's healthy. It helps you reduce cholesterol. Start eating healthy and lose weight. I had some people say that they use oats on their skin, and it just gives them this remarkable look.
With some honey, and let that dry as a mask mm-hmm. on your face, mm-hmm. your neck, your décolleté.
Mm-hmm. Décolleté?
Your décolleté.
Okay, I didn't know that.
You know what that is?
No, I didn't know what that is.
You mean you selling bully pills and you know what the décolleté is?
What's a décolleté?
I'm talking about Babbitts. The décolleté is this. This is the chest. You
Okay.
put it there and just let it dry. Let it all just dry nicely, and it does well for the skin.
Décolleté.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm going to Google that when I finish.
Yeah.
Alexa, what's décolleté? Okay.
She has that nice voice. Décolleté is.
Hey, listen here, Shanique Miller. Bahamian Seafood Connection. People are constantly calling me about the phone number. Let me give it to you. The number one seafood company on the island is Bahamian Seafood Connection. Where they're located, if you're on Fire Trail Road and you're heading west towards Gladstone Road, immediately after you're passing Epic Battery, it's on the right-hand side. Epic Battery's on the right-hand side. You look to your left in an orange plaza. It's Fire Trail West Plaza, and that's where you're going to find Bahamian Seafood Connection. The phone number, 341-0734. 341-0734. You're going to save tons of money. Not only do they have seafood, but they also have meats down there, and they have seasonings. I keep forgetting to say that. So that's Bahamian Seafood Connection. You're going to go down there, you're going to get lobster tails, $5. New York strip beefsteak, $5.85. You're going to get single rack of lamb, $29. You're going to get 6-ounce salmon, $5. Mahi, $5. Cracked chicken, $5. Snow crab clusters, $6.25. That's a great price. Calamari rings, $9. You can get snapper fillet, $4.95. Whole chicken, $9. Lump crab, $27. And you can get the shrimp, 16 or the 20 shrimp, starting at $17. So you guys want to go down there and check them out. Everybody is selling snappers at a ridiculously high price right now. At Bahamas Seafood Connection, you can get snappers. Since we live in the Bahamas, our area code is 242. You're going to pay $242 for a kit of snappers. Now, I don't know how much inside a kit, but that's plenty snapper. So go down there and check them out. Like I said, Fire Trail Road, heading towards Gladstone Road. You're going to look on your left-hand side after you pass Epic Battery, and you're going to see an orange plaza. You go down there. You guys send me a WhatsApp, and I'm going to try put your name in the basket or whatever they have to win some free seafood. I don't know if it's going to be snapper or whatever it is. You're going to WhatsApp me with the number on the screen, 5520212. That's 5520212. Don't call, WhatsApp me and say, hey, I want some fish, and I'm going to hook you up. That's Bahamas Seafood Connection, phone number 3410734, 3410734. And if you want to WhatsApp them, you can WhatsApp them at 822-6180, 822-6180, and get everything you need. Sky Solar. Everybody wants to save money just like everybody else.
It's time for Focus Forward, sponsored by Invest Grand Bahama. It's Grand Bahama's best talk show, highlighting all of the positive things happening in Freeport.
Look forward to our special guests each week that will tell you about events, activities, and initiatives that are making a remarkable impact on our community.
You'll also hear from local business owners and get a heads up on deals and special promotions. It's time to Focus Forward. Hi everyone, we're back here on Grand Bahama's Best Talk Show, Focus Forward, and we are in the middle of a wonderful discussion with Mr. Hanno Strack. Listen, Mr. Strack is bringing the energy today.
The energy is
He
here.
is bringing the energy. We are talking about the $85 million Coral Villas project. And of course, the conversation has been so great. He shared so much with us, telling us about the beauty of the island, the benefits of being here. He's been talking about his project. So if you missed it, you missed a lot. You need to rewind and come back and then catch up with us. But make sure that you're sharing this show with others as well. So Mr. Hanno Strack, thank you again for being with us. And we want to continue the conversation. We ended on a high after the commercial.
Hi.
We ended on a high, but we want to continue to talk to you about this particular investment. Tell us about your experience, particularly within the city of Freeport, going through the process to get ready to do the investment. You would have been in conversations and going through the process with the Grand Bahama Port Authority. Of course, there were some government things that had to happen. Tell us, what was that like, just navigating this regulatory landscape?
Yes, we started with the development 3 years ago with the idea, and then up until we came to the point. And we had the full support for a building license and all this, so I can not really say anything negative on it. So it's rolling and it's working, and I'm used to islands, and usually in islands things sometimes go a little slower, also because you have to bring things in and all this. And I'm really excited and positive how good it's organized here and how good it is moving, talking about building license and those things, yes.
And you talked about bringing things in, right? And we were talking about, how you're building, the way you're building these structures. Talk a little bit about sustainability and resilience. This is the city of Freeport, and of course, we're trying to build back better.
Of course.
Right? And we've been touting that since 2019. We're building back better. So how are you building resilient homes? What are some of the things that you're doing to ensure that resilience?
Yes, that was a very important thing in our research and due diligence, what we did. How should we build quality-wise, not only by the style, what I explained earlier, but the quality, the resilience, and how we can make this beautiful homes and that they can stand, because we all know the wind is coming, the hurricanes, they are there. They will be there in the future. So I think we have to have the respect of it and know and just build that it stays strong. And so one thing is, we were looking for properties that are a little higher elevated. If you go into the flood map, you can see all that in official maps, in what areas in Freeport you can build where the land is a little more elevated. So you don't have that flooding, because it's not only the wind, it's also the water that comes up. So on top of that, in the research where we build, we raised the basement, the
foundation.
So the foundations higher, so we have this on top, so that the ground floor, the chance that the ground floor will be flooded is very low because we come up so high. So when you drive by, you may think, okay, oh, this is sticking out of the ground very high, but at the end we will fill it up. But we want to have that height. And then this is one thing about the water. And then, of course, we have the strong winds. And in the past, I think, when you build here the houses in Freeport, the ceiling and what's coming on top is not really, how to explain, not really connected to the outside walls to give the stability and all this. So what we thought we have to do that and to make it more stable. So our construction is with steel and concrete, massive. Also the ceiling, both ceilings, if we go with 2 stories. So it's going to be like a bunker. So it will be one of the safest places here during a hurricane to stay in and be there. And we have the bedrooms upstairs, all of them. And so those houses are prepared. So that was the mindset that we took while planning those houses.
I'm ready to move. I'm ready to move. But you said you've watched the show, right?
Yes.
So you do know that I usually ask the most pertinent questions. So you're here.
Yes.
I'd like to know, who's your target market? What are these homes going to cost? Can I come in and buy your home? Well, I don't want to buy a home. I want to just get in there.
She likes 3 things, right?
But let's talk about
this is an investment.
Yes.
This is an investment.
So no, but seriously,
It's a great question.
Obviously, but yeah, we want to know who's your target market?
The target market will be mainly international clients and people. I think a lot of them also would be investors for the future to bring more 100 million packages to Freeport.
And like you even more, like I do.
Yes. And we have to attract them.
That supports our vision, right? Because that is what we're trying to do.
Yes.
Grow critical mass.
Yes.
And a big part of that is having these types of homes, these residential developments to be able to attract them.
Yes, so this will be the high end. And on the other hand side, I have in my mind to then take some of the profit with those villas to finance affordable homes and to support the community. So this is in my mind. I totally got that. Okay. And I want to be there for the community. And this is the next step then. So in the first step, we built those high-end luxury villas with everything in there, what you can imagine.
Homes.
Yes, smart homes, yes. And the lighting, we will have it really high-end. It's a company, it's called Occhio. They make really high-end light for houses. It's not in this part of the world yet, but they are in Europe, one of the biggest ones.
But you're bringing it here.
Yes,
So
yes,
you've been observing the trends. You've been observing, what's happening in building, and I like the fact that you're paying attention to that and you're bringing it here to the island. What would you say to other investors that are interested and would have heard some of the news? So Grand Bahama is always coming and hasn't started. What would you say to other investors about what's happening here in Grand Bahama?
Yes, we all know that it's a big issue about the airport, about the hotel, what we urgently need here.